Thank you, Christian.
Well, thank you, Jorby, for being here.
Absolutely. It's great to see you all. Thanks for coming out. All right, Stockholm.
So, I would say your most famous character are the T-1000, but you have played the same character in 4 different movies: Terminator 2, Wayne's World, Last Action Hero, and the short film T2 3D. How does it feel to be so associated with the character?
Well, it's great to be involved with a project that's so monumental as Terminator 2, perhaps one of the greatest films ever made, in my humble opinion. And for that to be, thank you, for that to be one of my earliest films, and to have been a complete unknown when I got that role, it was, you know, it was pretty crazy stuff to have happen to you. And as much as I'm proud of that role and being in Terminator 2, I've also had to avoid being kind of typecasted as a robot in everything I do. So I had fun making fun of myself and all those other projects. And the T-1000 in Wayne's World, in Last Action Hero, and then in the T2 3D. I just did another spoof on my character with Justin Lin, the director. I shot a film for China called Hollywood Adventures, and it's in China only as far as I know. And I spoofed myself as a T-1000. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
so,
talking about typecasting, you are often typecasted as an unfriendly character. How does it feel to be so good at being bad?
It feels good. It feels real good to be bad. All that bad stuff I got inside me, I get to let out every once in a while. It's a good thing. No, it pays the bills. I've been very fortunate. I'm starting my 4th decade in show business, and to be able to play a bad guy, to be able to play a bad guy and a good guy from time to time gives you a lot of opportunities to work.
Yeah, and you said that you've been 4 decades in showbiz.
I'm starting my 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know before becoming, going into show business,
yeah,
you were involved in a boating accident.
I was involved in a boating accident.
Where you actually saved lives.
I saved 4 other lives.
Can you please tell
and
us
my own
about
ass. I'll save my own ass. Yeah, it was at a time when I was, I'd left college and I had thought about being an actor, and I wasn't sure if I had what it took to be an actor, and I was sort of wasting a lot of time in Cleveland, Ohio, where I worked, and me and some guys went out on a boat, and the boat was a Dragon Slayer, a 30-foot Dragon Slayer. It was a racing boat, had a 29-foot mast, and we were in some high seas. You know, the Lake Erie, the Great Lakes, they kick up, they have bad storms from time to time, and the boat sank. And it was during that time that I said, Jesus, if I survive this, you know, I think I'm going to really pursue what I want to pursue in my life, which my dream was to be an actor, and if I can make it through this, I'll go to Hollywood and see what happens. And I survived. I saved 4 other lives, and about 2 or 3 months later, I split and headed to Hollywood and became an actor. Just like that. It was that easy.
Yeah, that's totally worth an applause.
There was a lot of luck involved. A lot of luck. I was very lucky. People I met at the right time and the right opportunities that came up. When I got to Hollywood, I lived in my car. I didn't know anybody, so I would go around telling people I was an actor, and somebody finally invited me to read for a play, and I read for the play, and I really didn't know what the hell I was doing, but for some reason it worked. I got lucky.
Yeah, talking about lucky or unlucky, I know you're the only actor killed on screen by all 3 founders of the Planet Restaurant Hollywood.
That is true. So the Planet Hollywood owners, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he killed me in Terminator 2. Sylvester Stallone killed me in Copland. Bruce Willis killed me in Die Hard 2. And one of their wives killed me in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. Who is that? Who said that? You are correct, sir.
That's worth an applause, definitely.
Nice job. You know your trivia. And of all those 4 people, to be honest with you, being killed by Demi Moore was probably the sexiest thing that I can say compared to the other 3, that's for sure. I've done 2 movies with Demi Moore. Do you know the other one? Striptease. That's correct. That's correct. She was my ex-wife. Damn.
Som sagt, har ni några frågor, lyft handen. If you have any questions, just raise your hand. Good.
Yes, sir.
Nowadays, there are lots of like virtual characters and stuff in movies, but you were probably the first one to be scanned for such a thing.
Yes.
For you two. What was that like?
It was a very interesting experience. It was all the technology was so new that I was going through it for the first time as an actor, and I really didn't know what to expect. They had tried to explain to me and showed me in storyboards what they were intending to do with the character, and I didn't really know much about computers. I still don't. And they put like 3-inch squares on me, drew them on me up at ILM, and they put me on this like lazy Susan thing, and they spun me around and recorded all this stuff and recorded me walking and running and crouching and all this crazy stuff, and then they put that into the computers. And from there, I don't know what the hell they did. Just like you, when I saw the movie, I went, wow, that's so cool. But that's what it was like for me. But in seriousness, everything was performance motivated. So everything you see that character do, they had me do the way I would do it. So like if, like coming up out of the floor when it was tile, remember that? So they actually asked me, well, how would your character do that? And I showed them what I thought I would do and how it would look coming up like that, you know? And that's what they went with. So, and pretty much the way that character moves throughout the whole movie was the improvisational audition I did, not having read the script. Which, so Jim, basically, they videoed my audition, and they liked the way I came up with how I was going to move and stuff, and they used that, and that's what they used in the movie. So it was real synchronicity of creativity in the sense that the way I was thinking and what Jim Cameron was looking for was exact. You know what I mean? We came together. So I don't know how to articulate it any other way than that. How's my Swedish accent, by the way? It's pretty good.
Well, you know, like in Sweden we talk like this.
Yeah, we talk like this. Yeah. Everybody is so nice.
Yeah, well, while you were talking about preparation in Terminator 2, I read that when you were casted at CT-1000, you started doing wushu, martial arts.
Wushu, yes.
Yeah, and you started eating the correct food, training,
yes,
watching animal movies, etc.
Yeah, I had to watch all those documentaries because we were trying to figure out how predators move and how you would search the crowd and the way you would hold your body, and so we started looking at how cats look around and insects, and it just went from there. It was Jim had asked me just to be a sponge and come up with a lot of ideas for that.
So it was Jim's idea to be this animal, or?
Well, no, I actually brought that into the audition. Like I started doing a lot of that already. Organically, I was thinking that way, and then he just asked me to bring more and more and more to it because he liked where I was going with it.
Oh, we got an audience question over here.
Hey, I don't really have a question, I just want to have a statement to tell you how awesome you were in the X-Files.
Oh, thank you very much.
Agent Dodger is such an important character, and in case people don't tell you enough,
Well, that's very kind of you. That's very, very kind of you. The whole X-Files experience for me was, I had met Chris Carter for another project that I didn't do, but he remembered me, and when David decided he didn't want to do the show anymore, Chris thought of me and brought me in, and we talked, and he offered me the role of John Doggett. And Chris knew me. I don't know if you know, my younger brother is a guitar player, plays in a band. He's the head of the band Filter. Hey Man, Nice Shot. Used to be in 9 Inch Nails. It's a great band. It's a hard rock band. And 2 of his songs have been used in the X-Files soundtrack. One in the movie and one in the series. So anyway, I knew Chris from that, and was thrilled to do John Doggett. It was my first TV series other than The Sopranos. I'd done a role in The Sopranos as well. And I was looking for a nice steady gig on TV, and I got to do it. I was very disappointed. I was disappointed because they told me if it worked, they were gonna let it keep going, and it was working, and then they decided to pull the plug. So, you know, whatever. I have no comment.
We have a question from the audience.
Hello, Mr. Patrick.
Hello, sir.
Oh, I was going to ask you, have you ever tried snus?
What is that?
That's a Swedish thing.
What is it? What is it, like drugs? I have tried that. That's pretty good stuff. Does it give you gum cancer and all that kind of shit? Does it? Okay. Well, hey, but I've tried it. It's good stuff. No, that's all right. Thank you. Thank you for the offer. And I'm assuming it hasn't been used. This is fresh. Thank you.
We have a question from the audience out here.
Hi.
Hey, I recognize you. By the way, I want to thank everybody that came by my table today and said hello. I really enjoyed meeting you all, and I hope it was fun.
So I was wondering if you grew up with the science fiction. Could you tell us a little about what were the big things for you growing up?
You know, my father took me to see Stanley Kubrick's 2001 when I was a child. I can't remember exactly what year that came out, but I was very young. And I remember vividly going to the movie theater in Atlanta, Georgia, where I was born, and seeing that movie with him. And it blew my mind. It blows your mind now if you watch it. You know, I was a kid. But I can't say that I was really ever a real big sci-fi fan, you know, but I am now, obviously. And it's been a great genre for me, so been very fortunate to work in it.
Yeah, I know, like, the private, you like riding the motorbikes.
I'm a motorcycle enthusiast.
But your Instagram is full of cars.
Well, right now, because I've been racing cars the last week.
So it's cars
Last
and
weekend I was
bicycles?
last weekend I raced in a race, my first race, the Toyota Long Beach Grand Prix, Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, pro celebrity race, and I took third. I think I took 5th or 6th overall in the pro celebrity category, and it was a kick in the ass, man. I'll tell you what, I love it. But I love riding motorcycles. I've been riding motorcycles since I was in high school, and I'm, as a matter of fact, in May I'll be riding across America for like the 7th or 8th time, and I ride from LA to DC, and then I do we have a protest we do at the Vietnam Wall with the Vietnam veterans, and give a speech, and then ride back across the country.
What bike?
Right now I'm riding an Electric Glide Classic. Who said that? Electric Glide Classic, and then I have a Springer Classic as well. Very nostalgic, old school looking bikes. I want to get a road glide, a new road glide, but we'll see. Anybody else here ride motorcycles? Me and you, buddy. It's just me and you.
Yeah, I know that you have worked as a painter and as a bartender.
I was a painter, I was a bartender, I worked in a die-cast aluminum factory when I was in high school. My dad, I think, wanted me to get that job, so I'd go to college. And I don't know if any of you have ever worked in a die-cast aluminum factory, but it is monotonous. All I did was file burrs off slap-casted bell housings for Cherokee Jeeps and shit like that. And man, filing the burrs off, and you know, every day, all day long, you know, and, not for me.
Is acting better?
Acting's a hell of a lot better. I'll tell you what, it is the greatest profession for me. I don't know what else I'd be doing right now, to be honest with you. I'm very, very fortunate. I'd be filing burrs off of bell housings, exactly. But I'm very, very fortunate. And yeah, and I have to thank you guys for you know, coming to the movies and watching the TV shows. So without you, nobody would give a shit. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
As a Terminator, you would have to keep a very straight face.
Yes.
All of the time.
Yes.
Was it ever hard doing so in specific takes, or do you have any other stories about fun bloopers happening on that shoot?
Well, that's an interesting thing. Well, let's go back in time to 1990. And I was 30 years old when I got that role. And where I was at as an actor, I knew that this film was my big break. So I was consequently scared shitless. I was afraid they were going to fire me. I was afraid I wasn't good enough. I was afraid I was just, there was just all this stuff that was just on me to pull that movie off. So the only way I knew to deal with it was I kind of stayed in character. Do you know what I mean? Like I would come into work and I would get in my trailer and I would put the cop uniform on and I would zip it up, and I had a mental checklist of things that I had programmed myself that I would be able to stay in character, and I would go over those and review those before I went out. And I kind of locked myself up in my trailer. I didn't really interact with anybody. I didn't really associate with anybody that much while I was working, and I just stayed focused. And it worked for that film. That's not how I am now. Now I fuck around on all the movies, you know. But for that film, I had to stay really, really focused. So, I don't know if I really have any funny stories from that, to be honest with you. I remember I admired Linda Hamilton's physique quite a bit. I used to try to get a kiss goodbye from her as I'd leave the set every day. And unbeknownst to me, she was going out with Jim Cameron at the time, so. Oh well.
Time is running out, so we have like 1 or 2 final questions.
Yeah, it's 3:25 for those of you that are wondering what time it is.
Hi.
Hey there.
To jump back at the X-Files, which you played a really good guy.
Thank you.
And how did it feel to make such a different character?
It felt great. You know, I want to do a lot of different things. It's like a lot of people have asked me, how do I feel about not being in the new Terminator movie? And I really don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like I want to do as many different roles as I can, and not just one thing. You know what I mean? So the same I feel about with John Doggett and the X-Files. I'm doing a new show right now called Scorpion that I love. And I'd much rather be doing that show than going backwards and revisiting a character that I've already done. Instead of going backwards, I want to go forwards. You know what I mean? So that's where my head is as an actor. And I'm looking for what's the next thing that I want to do. And right now I'm very happy doing Scorpion. I loved doing the X-Files when I did it. And Gillian Anderson is a beautiful, sexy woman to work with every day. And so is Annabeth Gish. And I wish them all the best with that new project. But I'm currently employed and very happy with the job I'm doing. I'm playing a guy named Cade Gallo. Different guy than John Doggett. Similar, but different.
Yeah, let's